Is 4/12. It is September 10th. Hope everyone is feeling well. Definitely another choppy day, but I feel like I'm always saying it's a choppy day. That's why you got to know your levels, play the ranges, and figure things out. Anyway, take a look at the disclosure and let's get to it. There it is. Let's go. My name is Red Dog. Scott Redler, the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap look ahead. So as you look at the charts now, you're like, oh, look at that, a little constructive day, which is true. Why is it constructive? Well, this was if you're it depends what side of the fence you sit on. You had a big down day on Friday, a little inside day on Monday, and then today we held above Monday's low and took out Monday's high, and kind of feels like there's a little room above, maybe 51.60, maybe here, maybe just the moving averages, but all in all, today there was a lot of back and forth. I know I came in with a bunch of positions and sold them really well. And then the rest of the day was hard. It kind of felt like we were ready to fail and we just didn't. So, if you feel like you didn't buy a dip and you were out of things, it's fine. If you shorted a rally though, you're like, that wasn't so much fun. If you look here at the SPYs, look what happened here on the SPYs. SPYs, this made some sense. It opened up above a prior high, couldn't hold it. So if you get out of longs, I got short a little bit here, took it off, came back, retested this spot, then just fell off a cliff, making it feel like we were cooked. Went below yesterday afternoon, pivot area, went above yesterday's low, and then from here, didn't stop. Right back, even over the highs. It's a little erratic, I'll be honest. The Qs did the same thing. The Qs, well, at least you could say the Qs made a low after a higher low and a higher low. So here's your low, higher low, higher low. And then at the end of the day, took this out. So to me, the Qs kind of look best going into tomorrow, but we'll see. If it was going to be any bearish and get rejected, it should never got back above here. So when something happens that shouldn't happen, that's against your thesis, you have to adjust. Like if you said, hey, look at the size of this move, I'm going to short a bounce, and it starts getting above this, either you're going to roll it up or you're going to get the hell out of the way. That's what you got to decide, when it's happening. IWM was tricky too. IWM, I got involved a little early. And then came in, I bought a little bit more, and then I trimmed some, and I have some going into tomorrow. I'm not so excited about the IWM, but I figured, hey, if the CPI is light, maybe there's a trade up towards 213-ish. Don't think we're going to 215 or 217 or 221, but 213-ish. Then at the end of the day, I bought a little XBI also because it kind of looks a little bit even more healthy, and it doesn't have all the banks that made some crazy moves today. Yeah, the banks were the source of weakness, but this looks tight. So what's this? This is 100. Maybe it gets back to there if it wants to. Look what happened to the banks today. Really beat up. They've been a source of strength. They came out with some kind of information about their, I'm not going to pretend like I want to say the name of it, but got above 218, couldn't hold it, got below 214, 211, went as low as what? 200.61. And then bounced a little bit, which helped the market, but wasn't an easy bounce. What's Framp saying? Framp is saying, looks like a bunch of calls being boarded. Let's see, this is the alpha team talking. Everyone into the close with a wild mess of buying across February. 117, 118s. All right, so somebody made a big bet on NVIDIA in the next year. Makes some sense. Anyway, so pretty big bearish candle. What did Goldman do? Did Goldman bounce at all? Broke below this. See if it stays below this moving forward. 477. That changed that trade, just like that. So looking at high beta tech, if I were to give you a pecking order, I would say Amazon looks best now. It does, even though it's been kind of crazy and hard. Got above this 178, 179, has some room. Has a gap protected. It showed relative strength, so that looks pretty good. Tesla I wanted to take. I just didn't. Where is it now? You kind of turned up, took out prior high, has some room, negated the strength of this candle. Looks pretty good, but you're going to have, Trump tonight, and Trump and Elon are like, So Trump's got to do well for Elon, I guess. We'll see. But this is 235. There's definitely some room here, closing the highs. So those are, Apple, like I said before. Um, Apple, they tried to sell the event. They couldn't. They had the EU fine of 14 billion. It didn't sell. So maybe that means it wants to go higher. So I'm in a little bit. We'll see. Anyway, so a lot of people use a lot of different bullish flows and whatnot. This ASTS, I sold some puts yesterday. Sold a little bit more. New point of reference. It was down a bunch. At some point, technically, it gets better. I'll buy the stock besides just selling puts that I'm trying to give myself some space without having to be perfect. There is a launch on Thursday, so, just there's risk. So make sure you know what your risk is. Palantir I got out of. Had a really good trade in Palantir early on, too. Not a really good trade, but it was down 50 cents. Bought it, made some money, sold it, sold some of my options. And now we'll see if it lets this kind of catch up and come up a little bit. There was some news the CEO was selling stock, and at that point the market was down. I'm like, I'm done with this for now. So we'll see. What gold do today? Gold's looking kind of, it's had to put in some time up here since August 15th, almost a month. If it gets above this 234, it can go. Bitcoin acted a little bit better today. Got above this little spot. Has some room if it wants to tomorrow. So all in all, the market's trying to go a little bit from net negative to like neutral to tiny positive. Right now, it went from negative, like you had to be really negative on Friday, to a little neutral, and today made you a little bit more neutral to positive. But doesn't mean you have to be really positive. It just means, some buyers came in, some things look better, and we'll see where we are tomorrow. You have a lot of you have the debate tonight, and you have also the CPI in the morning, so we'll see. It seems like you drive by some gas stations. Gas is like 3.10 or less than 3, so it's coming in. So you would think a light CPI would get a knee-jerk reaction to the upside because maybe we go from 25 BPs to 50, or it's that light and like ooh, growth scare. Let's just go down. So we'll see. So it's not written in stone. Nothing ever is in the market. You just have to quantify your risk, and if you do that, you can do this for a long time. And if you're wrong, get out. All right, guys, I appreciate you. See you in the morning.